Time now for sports on 104.7 The Cave. Here's Ned Reynolds.
Mike, the intern, Ned Reynolds, in the studio. Halfway point of the week, the Missouri State Bears baseball team went down to Arkansas to face off with the Razorbacks. Non-conference game, but definitely a way to show the rest of the country that the Bears are the real deal. Were they able to do that?
They played tough, they being the Bears, but again, the lack of pitching, which is going to be their problem for the rest of the year. Even if they get in the NCAA tournament, it's going to be difficult for them to have any kind of measured success. The lack of pitching really cost them dearly. The game was 4-4, and the Bears and Arkansas were tied. Missouri State had the lead some of the game, but tied 4-4 in the eighth inning. Well, that's when the bullpen really went south on Missouri State, because Arkansas came up with an 8-run rally in the eighth inning, win the game 12-4. The margin of victory is not indicative of what kind of a game it was. The Bears were playing very well. Maybe not quite as offensively oriented as they were up here a couple of weeks ago, but still, they're playing well. You had guys like Sermonelli and Sutherland and Ressler who all had 2 hits apiece. But the pitching ran out of gas down the stretch, and Arkansas wins it. That 8-run eighth inning, that's a killer. All you can do is just sit there and watch it happen and hope for the best. Arkansas 12, Missouri State 4, 8 runs in the eighth inning wins it.
Well, hopefully they can figure out that pitching situation. It was I think all of us were kind of shocked when Coach Tomlin announced that he was stepping away from the Steelers. He's got a new gig, though, doesn't he?
Well, he has a new gig, absolutely new gig, and he's going to be very, very good at it. Tomlin, of course, was replaced by Mike McCarthy with the Pittsburgh Steelers, but he also replaces his old boss on TV. That is where Mike Tomlin is going. He's joining the NBC Sunday night. It's Football in America is what they call it. And he's replacing Tony Dungy, who stepped down back, several weeks ago. And now Tomlin is going to come in and replace him. And Tomlin will do a very, very good job. I could see, and I think a lot of others, including the Rooney family, could see that perhaps he was getting a little burned in Pittsburgh. He'd had some good years. Good coach, really good coach. 19 years with the Steelers, but maybe that was enough, and Mike McCarthy will come in and do a good job. But Tomlin will do a very good job on TV and with a good crew, and I'm looking forward to his being there.
Definitely going to have an insight, that is for sure. We'll have to see what his temperament is in front of a camera instead of on the field. So it's supposed to be a pretty big announcement at Hammons Field on Thursday, 8:30. You and I both have shows going on at that same time,
I can't be there, no.
I saw the post and I go, someone asked me, do you know what it's about? And I said, it's either going to be a musical act or there's something to do with the name. That's my guess.
That's what it is. They're changing the name of the stadium to what? I don't know. I'm not privy to that information, but the sign Hammons is already down there. Now, what's my opinion on that? Not that it makes any difference. I don't like it because the original name of it was Hammons Field. John Q. did a lot to bring the ball club and the stadium to fruition. People go there. It's a great place. Why not have his name? Well, somebody's come in and offered money to, and I don't know what the monetary situation is in terms of the Cardinals' existence, nor the city of Springfield, which owns the stadium. So whatever the case, a new name is going to be there, and it'll be announced tomorrow morning. About 8:30 is when they're going to have the conference. No guesses. Why bother to guess? It'll be what it is.
Yeah, I'm curious to see. Maybe we should start taking bets on which large corporation around here that have stepped up to change that name, Ned. Well, Cardinals are on a road trip down in Miami. How'd they do?
They won yesterday. They beat the Cardinals, win over Miami 5-3. Alex Burleson and Nathan Church contributed really key hits in this game and some pretty good pitching. The fellow who the pitcher that the Cardinals got from the Boston Red Sox, Dustin May, finally pitched some pretty good baseball. Had a bit of a rocky start, but came out and he handled Miami pretty well. Miami is a good team, but they're very young and they're prone to errors and so forth and so on. These teams play again later today. As a matter of fact, it's a late morning game. They'll draw a few flies down there and maybe some friends and neighbors, and that'll be it. But the Cardinals do get the win 5-3 and go for a second straight win coming up a little bit later on this morning.
We've got Royals and Orioles right now in a series at home at Kauffman. And yesterday I'm kind of watching that game, and I'm looking at that score, and I'm going, too many times this season where the Royals have had it, and it's been close. You got the loss on Monday, 7-5, Baltimore. A couple weeks ago, they go 10-9 with Detroit. So I'm like, oh, God, I hope they're not cursed. But they were able to pull it out, luckily.
8 straight losses, and it finally came to an end last night with a run in the last of the 9th inning. It's how baseball works. It was a bit of a fluke, but the Royals win. They beat the Baltimore Orioles 6-5. Mikael Garcia, who has been a real spark plug on the team, drew a walk to start things off in a tie game, 5-5 in the last of the 9th inning. And who's on the mound for the Baltimore Orioles? Well, their new acquisition, who they got over the winter from, yes, the St. Louis Cardinals. Ryan Helsley out of northeastern Oklahoma, went to Northeast Oklahoma State in Tahlequah. He is on the mound, and he had some good outings with the Cardinals. But last night he walked his first batter, got a wild pitch that sent Mikael Garcia to second base, got one out, a strikeout. Then somehow Mikael Garcia maybe stole third, but whatever the case was, a second wild pitch. A second wild pitch from Ryan Helsley, and here comes Mikael Garcia in to score with the winner, ending an 8-game losing streak. Kansas City 6, Baltimore 5. Hallelujah, they finally got a win, maybe turning things around. We hope so.
It starts this afternoon, man. They're gonna have to, because they've got a tough series with the Angels right after this one, so it ain't going to get any easier, that's for sure. Springfield Cardinals finally returned home yesterday, and were they able to correct what's been going wrong with them as well?
And the Springbirds break their losing streak, which was a modest 3 games after a long 7-game losing streak. Beat the Midland Rockhounds 5-4. Midland scored 3 in the 9th inning. This game looked like it was all Springbirds, but wait a minute. What is going on here? Here comes the Midland Rockhounds, and they're a pretty good team. They're the A's, the Athletics AA Farm Club. They scored 3 runs in the 9th inning, and the Springbirds just did hold on. John Gastar had a pair of RBIs for Springfield, and Urangelo Senja, finally on the hill, allowed just a run and 3 hits while striking out 4 in 4 2/3 innings. That's all he threw. They're treating him very lightly. He's a kid from Curaçao and pitched in the World Baseball Classic for the Netherlands. He pronounced his name as Senja, and he's on the hill. Now, he's from the Caribbean, but he played his college baseball at Mississippi State. That's a culture shock, to say the very least. Anyway, he got there, All-America, and he's going to be a Cardinals top prospect and did pitch well. These teams play again this morning at Hammons Field. This is a day game, and indeed it should be a nice day for a little baseball.
Definitely that time of year, Ned. Have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.